Show you what else we got. There we have it. All three Palmers. The Ultimate Series. So this is the Palmer GS. The donor for this was a 1983 R80 ST Craigslist special.
Yeah.
We've obviously gone with the big HPN gas tank as we saw on the Marlboro build. Öhlins upside down forks, a 21-inch front wheel from an R100 GS, high fender, wind deflector, R80 GS binnacle with a LED adaptive headlight. Oh, you know what I love on the front end? We made these. These are completely handmade fork guards.
What's the fork guard protect from?
The stanchion at the front. So it's to protect this slider.
Yeah.
And it's more of a stylistic exercise in that it looks like a dirt bike off-roading adventure vehicle. We 3D scanned the fork and then with the help of some computer wizards drew the design on the computer.
Painting that, mate.
Painting that, mate.
Is this tank any different dimensions to the Marlboro?
No, they're the same.
It just feels bigger and I don't know why.
I think the lack of decals do that. I'm not sure, but it's the same tank.
Maybe because it's black and more of it is black that it just kind of blends and just like looks
It definitely
bigger.
looks different.
It really does. Especially with the two-tone paint as well on that one.
We made the handlebar you saw on many other bikes, the internal throttle setup. So this is a handmade bar that we made in the style of the GS handlebar with this cross brace. Weld-on levers, hidden switch gear, custom grips, internal throttle, on a bearing. This is neat. So the brake master cylinder on the GS is normally up here. This big lumpy plastic cue picture here from Marlboro. And the whole exercise with this was cleaning up the bars.
Yeah.
So with this gas tank, you can't fit the master cylinder under the tank. It just doesn't fit.
Can I see it? What angle?
Yeah, so come right here. If you look straight in, behind the fender, that is the brake master cylinder. This is the under tank brake master mounted on the crossbar of the frame. So then we made a remote reservoir for that master cylinder and put it behind the wind deflector.
Can you just point to this so that it's really clear?
Follow the lines up to the banjo bolt.
Let's do that.
This is it.
Through here. Okay. And you bought that off the shelf, or is that something?
That's a BMW part. You can buy those brand new.
Okay. So that's one part of the whole system.
Yeah.
What was the other?
So then normally the reservoir is built into the top of that.
I understand. Now I see this part.
So this has a line that goes down to the master, and that's where you put your brake fluid.
And also,
and it keeps it off the bars.
Yeah, it's way more subtle with the same color as the rest of it.
Absolutely.
Versus that white and plastic.
Absolutely. The amount of work that went into making these bars work on this bike is absurd on the whole, like how much time it took to build the whole bike. We got a custom speedo, built-in tack. It's pretty neat. We've got the cat dash LED lights as found on Marlboro GS. Yeah. Low beam, high beam, low beam.
So is that middle section a daytime runner?
Oh, you know what it was? It's because the ignition's not on. It's just your parking light. It just says the ignition's on.
Oh, I see. There it is. Working. And the rear, is that brake light?
Tail light.
Yeah.
Brake light.
Yep. Excellent.
Oh.
Love it.
Let's go back to the front and work our way back again. So we've done our custom wheel assembly, tubeless rims. This is an R100 GS wheel that's got brake rotor adapters to work on these forks. We discussed the gas tank, 4 mounting bolts, so you can attach a notepad or a bag or an iPad, something,
or
for touring, or a dog, donuts.
There's donuts.
Portuguese pastries.
So wide with that tank.
Yeah, but you know what's really neat is the fact that when you're on it, the contours of the tank just fit your body. It just emulates your leg. Okay, let's go to the engine. We've got a 1979 R100 RS with big valves. I'd earmarked the engine for myself. Naturally, Palmer was getting all the good stuff, so he raided my parts bin. He got the good engine in the good frame. So we put in some new Euro spec high compression pistons, big valve heads, new stainless 2-into-1 exhaust system, the Mikuni carbs, and custom airbox assembly as an homage to the HPN airbox. The lower portion is the factory airbox, which is lovely. All we did was make a top plate to mount a larger K&N cone filter, much the same as what HPN did. And I did that via a website called Send Cut Send. So you draw it on the computer, upload it to their website, and then they send it to you in 2 or 3 days in laser cut metal, and they'll even bend it where you tell them to bend it.
Full service.
That was amazing, and I specified it should have a hole in the middle, and I bought a pre-made spigot that I bonded into the middle. Yeah. That's what I mounted the airbox, the actual air filter to, and then bolted it to the airbox. We've got a 50mm extended swing arm. The swing arm and drive shaft have been lengthened 50mm, which makes it a longer wheelbase bike. And we're running an R100 RS final drive. And we mounted the R100 GS rear wheel, and we had to deck the hub. So just basically the R100 GS had a paralever swing arm, and the hub was a bit fatter. So we have to deck it down so that it fits on the monoshock hub. And then, so the custom rear fender, same as the Marlboro bike. Okay. This is an Acerbis Baja rear fender that we cut in half, bond it to the front half of the R80GS front fender, and then the body shop uses their magic witchcraft to make it one whole unit.
Do you like riding it?
I love this bike. So I say that about every bike, don't I? God, I really love riding this bike, particularly at night.
Oh, because of the colour?
Oh, I don't know, it just comes alive at night time with the LED dash and everything. You look like Batman. Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. It's a very tactile feeling bike. I compare it to a Range Rover Sport or a G-Wagon, a really tough bruiser agricultural urban assault vehicle.